excited to be here. Definitely appreciate you guys coming out. Highly excited to be the next Lima Senior basketball coach. Really excited to build a program here. Appreciate all the support, everyone that has helped me out in any way, shape, or form. You know, I first want to give honor to God. Without Him, none of this would be possible. To my family, to my fiance Nicole, my kids, I definitely appreciate, you know, all of the support. You know, me traveling a lot, not being around, I definitely appreciate it. To you know, the people in the back, my Tier 1 family, I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. It means a lot to me. My dad, always great seeing him. So I want to thank everybody. You know, my Aunt Jan up front, Jared. You know, you're definitely gonna get drafted this weekend. Don't worry about it. Again, I applied for this job, and I'm honored to take this job to try to get Lima Senior to the highest level that it can be reached. It's not going to be easy, but I never anticipated it to be easy. I've always been a guy that's willing to go through hoops and go through the grind of being able to come out on top. I'm dedicated to doing that, and with the the team of the school administration, we're going to put together a nice staff, starting from the middle school on up, who can definitely teach first and worry about wins later. So, you know, I'm excited. It's coming around quick because we got to get some team camps going on in June. But for the most part, you know, there's a lot of talent coming in this school, and we want to send these kids to college where they belong, and we want these kids having successful lives, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
You guys got some questions?
Quincy, what's goal #1 in your first year?
I haven't really sat down and thought of goals, but we definitely want to keep as many kids in the program as we can. Obviously, we want to win, but we want to develop first, and that starts in the middle school level. So we want to get some coaches down at the middle school level who are good teachers. So when the kids get here to the high school level, we not have to reprogram. We just can kind of add on. So we're going to sit together once I pick a staff, because I do not have a staff yet picked. Once I get a staff, which would be pretty quick, we're going to sit down and evaluate ourselves and then put some goals in plan.
You've been through some of the glory days of Lima Senior. You've been around through the last couple of years where it's been some lean years. What has been the difference between the good days and the bad days, and do you see the good days coming back?
Definitely. The good days are back. I don't think the good days have ever left. We've had some up and down years here at Lima Senior. Throughout the history, this has always been an exciting school, an exciting program, and I want to bring that high energy back. You know, we want to run. Obviously, we want to get up and down the floor in a structured environment. We want to play at a high level. So, you know, the good days never left, but it's going to be some better days coming, and hopefully some great days down the road.
Quincy, the rumor mill is stirring with people saying that there's going to be a mass exodus from a lot of the local schools to here at Lima Senior, especially your son X at LCC. What's your reaction to all that?
You know, one thing about me, I try not to listen to rumors. It's hard when you're dealing with social media, and then you got a lot of people. We always know sound travels. As far as my son, he's the only one that I can speak for. That's a decision that me and his mom is going to make. That's going to be a family matter. Right now, he's at LCC, and he's going to finish the school year out strong at LCC. Once the time comes for me and his mom to sit down, put everything on paper, and decide what's best for him, we'll make that decision.
Have you guys set a timetable yet for that decision?
Not right now. We want to make sure he's still getting that 3.6 GPA.
You mentioned team camps coming up in June. As everybody who follows basketball in this area knows, your involvement with the AAU circuit with King James. You have a very successful organization that you're a part of with that. Oh, you just added a varsity basketball job on top of that. You're a busy man, Q,
Correct.
But I got a bottom line up for you. How are you going to make time for all this summer?
Obviously, if you're close to me, which you are, you know we've been doing this for a while. I love basketball, and I love trying to help kids. It's going to be a struggle, but I'm definitely prepared for it. I have the support of my family. That's most important. God has blessed me with the talent, so I'm just trying to take full advantage of it. My AAU is obviously going to slow down. I've already spoken to Nike. I've already spoken to some guys at King James. I'm still going to be heavy involved with King James, but priority #1 is Lima Senior basketball, and I mean the entire program from the middle school up. That's my first priority, and I'm not going to let that fail due to training or King James.
Were you surprised at some of the outpouring of support that you received on social media? I'm your Facebook friend, so to go on your Facebook page and see, you know, dozens and dozens of people congratulating, were you surprised at that, or even the turnout that you had here tonight for your announcement?
Definitely. I know a lot of people in Lima have always been behind me, but to see this tonight in the gymnasium, to see the outreach on the social media, it's surreal, and it definitely made me shed a tear or two.
Once you get back to X, is there a timetable when you want to, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, when's this decision going to be made?
We want him to finish up the year strong at LCC. That's priority number one. And like I said, that's going to be a family decision. We're going to sit and decide what's best for him. It's not necessarily about me because, there's talent all through these hallways, and we're going to be fine. But we're going to decide what's best for Xavier. We have not set a timetable. This has just ended, tonight. So the process starts, pretty
Do you
quick.
have a feeling on which way?
Do I have a feeling as far as?
Which way he's going to go?
No, I don't. Not right now. I've coached Xavier since he's been playing basketball. I have not had an opportunity to coach him from a high school perspective, and that has not bothered me one bit. Wherever he's at, I feel comfortable with Xavier being able to do what he needs to do to make that program better.
Have you been contacted by any of the other LCC players?
Have-
Alida players, any other players?
Oh, no. Have I been contacted?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm like a father figure to a lot of those kids.
I mean, contacted about coming here.
Oh, no, not at all. We don't discuss that. The only kid that I have total control over is my son. I cannot vouch, I cannot speak for any other of those kids that, were Lima City School kids. I cannot speak for them. That's a family decision that, those guys and their families have to decide on.
Have you talked to any of the coaches in the area since the word got out? And not just talking in Lima land, some of the coaches that are in the track. Case in point, Coach Roki up at Finley, Coach Lewis at DeSales, coaches up at TCC and the like. Have you heard from any of them via text message or?
No, I haven't. Not coaches. I've talked to, I've trained a lot of kids all over Ohio. I've trained a lot of kids in Toledo that are affiliated with the track. So they understand that Lima Senior is coming, and we're coming strong. But I haven't talked to any coaches. I've talked to Kill. Kill's a friend of mine at LCC. We were friends before Xavier went to LCC. So we'll continue that relationship. He's definitely supported me 100%. But as far as any coaches in the conference, I have not talked to any of them.
Is this a short-term decision? I mean, as far as a tenure, because obviously with X having the ability already being offered major Division I colleges right now, especially with the MAC, do you have short-term? Do you have long-term in mind? I mean, obviously you're not going to be here for 100 years and be Joe Pa, but do you plan on being here 10, 15, 20 years down the road, et cetera, et cetera?
I plan on taking my last breath at Lima Senior. Xavier's will be fine. He understands when he goes off to college, I'm not going to be at every game. If I was sitting at home on the couch, I probably wouldn't be able to attend every game. Usually you get a better seat right in front of the TV. So, he's very mature. He's very heady. And, he understands the process. If I'm able to make a game depending on where he goes, that's great. But I plan on being here for as long as I can breathe.
It's been a big 12 months for the Simpson family, from you winning the national championship AAU last year, Greg's jersey retirement this fall, Xavier winning the championship in state, and now this for you. So what more can the Simpson family do for Lima this year?
This year?
And Jared to get drafted this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
we can steal that one from you.
We always seem to forget that the Simpsons and the Pugsleys are definitely family. But, we have some high goals. I've already researched a lot of schools in the track. I've already researched the schools we could possibly play in the tournament. We have an opportunity to do some big things here at Lima Senior. And I, being the head guy, want to take charge and make sure we fulfill those goals.
Q, what are you going to do specifically to get Lima Senior back to the glory days of basketball?
We have to be role models, obviously, first. Kids have to trust us. They have to believe in us. And I think that's a good thing that I bring back to Lima Senior. So me being around, I can already sense the energy from some of these kids that were here tonight. But it's not going to be hard. The athleticism speaks for itself. We've seen that. We've seen that with the football program, with the hiring of Coach Fell. So it's definitely a process. But I'm not a patient guy. I'm not a rebuilding guy. I'm ready to hit the ground running.
Speaking of the track, we know it's a very tough league. To come in and have your first varsity job being as a difficult league as the track, does that maybe your experience in AAU help translate to get ready for the track?
The only thing that I tend to worry about is what I do. I understand that I have to scout, put a group of coaches together who can work good collectively together But, you know, we're going to worry about what we can do here, and it's the other team's jobs to stop us.
Do you have a timetable for your coaching staff?
It's got to be pretty quick because, again, we're going to go to some team camps in June and some high-level team camps. So, you know, I leave tonight. I'm going to Dallas. Once I get back, we're going to sit down with some guys and figure out, you know, who's going to be on staff and what the responsibilities will be.
You're not in the building, but a couple of the members of the previous staff are in the building. One was a JV coach, another was a freshman coach who works for Lima City Schools as well. Will you interview those guys just because they are in the building? And how important is it to have somebody on staff that is in the building, because you can't be here during the day because of your job commitments per se, but you'll have the opportunity to still be in, but still to have some sort of a presence with the basketball program in this building?
Yeah, both those guys will be back. I've already spoke to them. Brock, I'm excited to have him back. I'm excited to have Alfonso Townsend back. So, you know, we want to add some other guys that can help, you know, build the program the way we like it to be. I would never hire a guy just because he's in the building. I would always hire a guy because he wants to help the program first. But those guys are in the building, and they definitely want to help the program. They had a great year. Both of them did last year. So I'm excited. You know, we just want to add a couple more pieces to make it complete, and we can go forward.
Talk about all the things you're going to do now. You're still a corrections officer.
Correct.
Right? Basketball coach now. You're still going to do the AAU. You're still going to train basketball players as part of your. I mean, obviously, Lima seniors are top priority, but kind of where does it go after that? It's a lot of irons in the fire.
It is.
That's your full-time job.
It is, and I mean, this is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. You know, I've coached Lima Explosion, and I've coached AAU. I've trained.
OSU Lima,
I've
right?
coached OSU Lima. I was the JV coach here. I was the freshman coach here. So it's not like it's a new idea. It's just more responsibility, and it's about prioritizing, you know, my daily schedule. Again, I got great support at home. Without her, I probably wouldn't be sitting here now. So, you know,
going to train the players and everything?
Of course, you know, we got to train Lima City school kids. You know, they need development. It's going to make our program successful. So that's definitely what we want to do early.
The way I understand it, Coach Sager said that this new OHSA thing passes, a transfer would have to sit out 11 games if you want to come to a place like Lima Senior.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way you understand it if this thing passes?
Yes, there's, you know, that OHSA rule changes quite a bit. I haven't looked at it because I have no reason right now to look at it. We haven't even understood if anyone's transferring. So there's no need for me to, you know, dig deep and research it, you know. But if that happens, then we'll find a way to research and find out what the rules are. But right now, we haven't looked at it.
21 years ago when you graduated from this place, did you ever imagine you'd be coming back as the head coach?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Again, I'm blessed. I never even imagined coming back home, you know, in '02 when I moved back. I was in Colorado Springs, great city, doing some great things out there, but it was time for me to be a full-time father. I didn't want to be a father from 18 hours away, so, you know, it was kind of a no-brainer to come back home and be involved.
You're a Cowboys fan, right?
No.
What team? Who's your team?
NFL?
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Okay. Jared gets picked up by the Patriots. How happy you gonna be?
I'm gonna be happy if he gets picked up by anybody, you know. But I'll be happy, you know. Jared has come a long way. You know, you guys seen Jared the last few years, but we've seen Jared, you know, right from his mom from day one, and he's come a long way. You know, I could stand up here all day and talk about Jared, how proud, you know, how proud we are.
Anything else, guys?
There's a lot of talent in the Simpson family. Who's the most talented? Who's the best athlete?
Best athlete? I don't know. I'd probably have to say my Uncle Philip, Greg's dad.
Who wins one-on-one, you or X?
Me.
X score.
I don't know. I haven't played ball in a while. Xavier, you know, he works really hard. To be honest, I probably couldn't beat him now, but, you know, it's more of a basketball. It's more of a mental game, so I could get him there.